Good morning, welcome back. You ever just have a bad day and need to vent, but there's no one standing next to you? Yes? Hello? Thanks to parasocial relationships and people saying whatever they want when behind a keyboard, we've created free online therapy and everyone's qualified. I got my degree from Just Trust Me Bro. But just like anything free, what's the catch? Well, the advice is probably bad and might leave you feeling worse than before. If you're not familiar, parasocial relationships are where a collective audience has a one-sided relationship with someone famous that is completely unaware of their existence. Think you and any famous celebrity, K-pop idol, or content creator you really like. We're paying these people's bills when they can already pay their own bills 1,000 times over. Delusion can be a possible symptom of parasocial relationships, along with acting like your friends and showing up to someone's house unannounced.
Because I'm not your friend. I will never ever hang out with you. And I don't care about you because I don't know you. I can't. There are 13,000 people here. I can't care about all of you because I don't know any of you.
But not all of these relationships are bad. If there's boundaries and the celebrity or creator isn't calling their fans their best friends, they can coexist pretty peacefully in a healthy and normal way.
How are you in love with someone that you view online, you parasocial Peter? Cringe! Cringe!
Friends with benefits, but without the friends part.
I am not your friend.
As content creators, we try our best to not be dumb on the internet, where all your actions have consequences. Unless you're an anime avatar or a username with more than 10 numbers. Why are we so surprised when most of us don't know the best way to approach human interactions? I mean, there's no mandatory class we have to take on how to become a PR agent's dream client. If you really think about it, generally the people that sit behind a camera and are basically talking to themselves are weird and quiet. But how you treat service workers and people online is usually a pretty good indicator of how you are as a person. So YouTubers, Twitch streamers, anyone with an online presence and following might not be the most elegant speaker when faced with difficult situations. The story we're looking at today is a Twitch streamer's response to one of his viewers mentioning she hasn't watched his stream in a while since she's been dealing with a lot, mainly because of her mom passing away. So like any streamer trying to engage with their audience, he asks, "Where have you been?" And then this clip went viral.
Curvy, where the f have you been? Oh my god, well tell you what, Miss Dirty Curvy, you know what we're not gonna do? We're not gonna talk about it in my chat. Cause it's Friday, and that is a whole big bucket of bummer. And I'm sorry for your loss, but we're not doing that in my f***ing chat.
Okay, so he could have just ended it right there. While it's not the nicest way to talk to someone, especially a fan, it is his chat and he can pretty much enforce whatever rules he wants, like a hall monitor on a power trip.
Thank you. Well, okay, Miss Dirty Curvy, you said no, that's fine. You asked, so I told.
So I didn't actually check out the rules of his chat, but I'm assuming it's along the lines of something like this. You have a bad day? Well, don't tell me about it, because it's Friday! I'm so sorry for your loss, but shut up. You're ruining the vibe, man. And she probably wasn't expecting this response. From a community she's been a part of for years, that's why she felt like it was a safe space to mention what she was going through. Since, you know, he asked her.
Oh, I asked you where you were. Look, Miss Dirty Curvy, no, I didn't ask you to tell me the biggest bummer news in the world. I said, hey, what's up? How are you?
I mean, it is an open-ended question. Not everyone wants to talk about really depressing things in front of their audience, which is fine. But if he just wanted positive answers, he should have said so. Hey chat, how's it going? But don't tell me how horrible your life is. Keep that to yourself. It's like a doctor asking how their patient is feeling, and they say, stop. Don't tell me any bad symptoms, cause that means I'll actually have to care. I'm sure we'll move on from this awkward situation pretty quickly. There's no point in dragging this out. Also, you know how when you tell your parents something normal, and suddenly you activate their trap card and they hit you with a 3-hour lecture out of nowhere?
You know what? Let me give you a little bit of a lesson, Miss Nerdy Kirby. When something really, really bad is going on in your life, and in a public forum, someone asks you, hey, what's up? How are you? There are two acceptable responses. Good, and you know what? I'll make it through. That's it.
It does work both ways. He also had two choices of things he could have done. Say sorry for your loss and move on to something else, or do whatever the hell this is.
How are you? Good? Or, you know what? I'll make it through.
Are we in class right now? I didn't know this was a multiple choice with right answers. This is a Twitch stream with beer cans in the back. Ugh, really? You're gonna tell me the reason why your life sucks on a Friday during the pre-weekend? The Friday before Saturday on my stream day, which is a Friday? God forbid I actually have to show empathy towards my audience that supports me. Am I not just farming internet usernames that help me pay my bills?
When someone asks, hey, where have you been? You don't need to tell them, well, my dog died, my husband left me for a younger woman, my house burnt down, and my car got stolen. So I've been a little bit busy. That's why I haven't been around. Because it's like, oh, God. Like, if someone asks, like, hey, what's up? Where have you been? And it's heavy. Just be like, I had a bunch of shit going on. So I've been lying low for a little while. Got it.
This part right here is what confused me even more, because didn't she essentially do that? All she did was mention an extra detail of something that happened to her. I didn't see a 10,000 word written report of all the trauma she's been through, like homework that your therapist gave you. It was a total of 3 separate times where she mentioned this, but 2 of the chats that she sent were trying to clarify a possible misunderstanding. She didn't keep pushing this news onto a stream like those aggressive salespeople at mall kiosks. And as the streamer, there are ways to steer the conversation in another direction if you're uncomfortable talking about certain topics. Hey, what's that behind you? Anyway, so the weather's been weathering, right?
I'm just subtly trying to tell you, unloading really heavy news in people's chats on Twitch is not like good etiquette.
Some people might even call this situation trauma dumping. You ever go to a party and someone introduces themselves by telling you their whole family got sacrificed by a cult and their bank account got hacked and they have $0? What happened to hi? And not knowing how to end a conversation. Trauma dumping is an unhealthy behavior that tends to involve long, uninterrupted venting sessions about one or more stressful, painful, or traumatic experiences a person has had. One can do this to friends, family, or even colleagues and acquaintances, usually without the other's full permission or consent. After going through something traumatic, especially when a parent passes away, you're not going to be in your best mental state. A Twitch chat is definitely not the place to look for serious help if you need it. Free therapy from strangers online might not be the best form of self-care. It might have the opposite effect of self-sabotage care. I don't think the viewer was trying to shift the topic of discussion onto herself. All she did was reply to a question. She even tweeted that she feels bad she might have overshared and brought the mood down. This is when social media starts to enter that level of dystopian wasteland, where creators forget that usernames are people too. Say goodbye to self-awareness and say hello to our new economy, where every follower is just a $sign. So Alicia did post a twit longer explaining the situation better, about how her grammar and the timing of her messages might have caused a misunderstanding. It wasn't my intention to continue to talk about it, but they simply asked a question and I answered feeling comfortable and safe, telling so to a streamer and community I've been a part of for years. And then, well, in the video, you can see the response I get. That was the first chat I have ever mentioned my mother had passed away. I don't go around and just say that in everyone's chat, nor do I go around talking about it. They asked me where I was and I answered. As a streamer, I can highly understand how uncomfortable it is when someone trauma dumps or drops heavy news like that. He also apologized to her on Twitter and then sort of backtracked with an unlisted YouTube apology, sort of blaming her again.
I didn't unload on her because her mom died. Just because her mom died, you treat her like... No! I treated her like because I don't like her. I unloaded on her because I've told her before. This is, guys, if you didn't know this, it's not the first time she's come into my channel, and God knows how many others, to try to throw a fucking pity party. My reaction was wrong. Her doing that was wrong. We're both wrong.
Don't bring your trauma and sad stuff into the chat. You're all supposed to be happy followers, cause my mood and livestream are what matters the most. This sort of reminds me of toxic positivity. I'd say it's kind of related. I'm sure you've heard of or experienced these people firsthand. When you have problems and share your frustrations, they hit you with the, don't be sad, be happy, drink water. Crying is a choice. Why feel any bad emotions when you can just not? These are probably the same people that wake up at 5 a.m. and instantly start talking with the energy of 8 hours of sleep. I need at least 12 hours to myself before any human interaction after I wake up.
Do you want to get Popeyes?
No, I'm on a diet.
What do you mean you're on a diet? Why?
I have fitness goals.
But you're already so skinny though. Why do you need to diet? You're depressed? Why?
You know, I'm just going through it.
You know, there's people like dying around the world, right? Like there's people like dead, okay? Like, yeah, at least you have like...
My grandma died.
Aw, it's okay. Well, at least you're not dead.
Not gonna lie, as someone who thinks that going, "they're there" is an appropriate way to comfort someone, I feel like I might have said this before. Can't really remember if the person laughed or not.
Examples of toxic positivity. Everything happens for a reason. Good vibes only. Just think happy thoughts. You need to try and see the good in everything. Change your mindset, change your life. The power is in you. Don't worry, be happy. Just keep smiling.
In theory, I can get behind some of these things. When something bad happens to you, you can't be sad forever. Eventually, you'll have to get up and go outside. I'll say these things to myself when I'm alone, but if someone said this phrase to me,
Your attitude is the only thing standing in your way.
I would check their shelf for any self-help books, borrow it, and conveniently never give it back. No regular person would talk like this, like they're reading therapist notes. Only I can say cringy, uplifting things to myself, in my own head. Instead of saying, "you'll get over it," say, "it's hard, but I believe in you." Instead of saying, "don't be so negative," say, "it's okay to feel bad sometimes." Instead of saying, "always look on the bright side," say, "it can be difficult to see the good in this situation, but we'll make sense of it when we can." Instead of saying, "failure's not an option," say, "failure is a part of growth." Instead of saying, "think happy thoughts," say, "things can get really tough. I am here for you." Instead of saying, "it could be worse," say, "sometimes we experience bad things. How can I support you?" Imagine saying this to someone with full confidence. I would definitely stutter and embarrass myself. "Hey, sometimes we experience bad thing. How..." I am not built to be that friend that's really great at comforting someone when they're sad. I'm definitely more the type to be like, "they're there. You want McDonald's?" Or I'll try using humor like,
Diamond earring came off in the ocean and it's gone. And there's people that are dying.
these sayings just come off as condescending to me. Like if I'm on a frustrating moment and tired and annoyed, the last thing I want to hear is some overly repeated BS that's not even specific to me. It could be worse. It really can be worse. Your favorite streamer might yell at you in front of an audience. I'm more partial to "that's rough, buddy," no matter the context. That's a pretty good one. Gender neutral and oddly comforting, especially when said by someone over the age of 40 wearing flannel working on a farm. Identifying human, activating empathy module, generating emphatic response. Sometimes we experience bad things. How can I support you? Okay, this is what an AI-generated therapist would say after being fed Darman videos and positivity TikToks. First AI art and now this? Actually, I had this experience when I worked in retail. Management would always talk like they were programmed by HR to never say anything off script. It just felt like I was talking to a bunch of NPCs. And hey, internet people with an audience are still just people that can make mistakes and are probably not the smartest. Why do I keep roasting myself in this video? Don't hold these internet celebrities and influencers to such a high standard because you'll definitely be disappointed. Low expectations are what keep the doctor away, not "sometimes we experience bad things. How can I support you?" Hope this guy learned a valuable lesson and that his viewer, well, ex-viewer, is doing okay because losing a loved one really sucks. Oh, and the YouTube algorithm is telling me that it would like some engagement as a Christmas present. You can surprise it with a gift by leaving a like and a comment on this video, and I'll get to see you on your recommended page before the end of the year. Hope you guys are enjoying the holidays. Not sure if it's just me, but it feels like I have to do 1 week's worth of work in 2 days. Have a good day, try not to be dumb, and I'll see you in the next one.